Hi, it's Lesley Fightmaster. This tutorial is just to give some modifications if you happen to be very stiff. Maybe you are an athlete and you do a lot of things that strengthen your body, but you might not do a lot of things that stretch. So some of these classes that I have on YouTube might be inaccessible. So I'm going to show you how to modify a little bit. And this is for Design Maria. She asked for her husband, who is an extreme athlete. So, first of all, we want to make sure that the low back is safe when we do forward folding. So, one of the things when you're standing up and doing a forward fold that you can do is, if you have a block handy, you can use a block. If you don't, you're just going to take your hands to your shins. So, when you're working through sun salutations, you'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, so the hips will go back as you come forward. So you don't want to kind of reach down and round the upper back. That's not good because that's going to pull your low back forward and stretch it in the wrong direction. So right here where your thighs and your torso meet, when you come forward, there's a little bit of an indentation that you can feel. So your hips go back as you come forward, and that's what we want. So when you inhale, reach up. Exhale, hips go back as you come forward. If you can't reach the floor, no problem. You're just going to either bend your knees a little bit, or you could take your hands on a block with your knees bent or straight, and you'll eventually work toward moving into straight legs. But you can see how my back is nice and flat here. I'm not rounding through the upper back. Eventually, as you get more space, more length, you can go a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further until maybe you'll touch the floor. So that's forward folding. You're also welcome if you don't have that prop. Inhale, exhale, hinge from the hips, come forward, bend the knees, and just let your head hang down. That's okay too. Just being sure that you're not trying to reach with an upper back rounded, because we do a lot of things rounding the upper back, right? We drive our cars, we type on our computers. We don't need to reinforce that. So that's when we're folding forward. If you have tightness in the hamstrings in downward facing dog, again, get the length in the spine. Don't worry about the legs. So if I'm here in down dog, from child's pose, I'll extend the arms forward, come up, come to down dog. So I'd rather see extending the spine and keeping the knees bent as opposed to straight legs and up like this, right? So eventually you can continue to press back, but for now, bend your knees. It doesn't matter if the legs straighten out right away. We want the length in the spine. Plus, I'm sure with your knees bent, you're still getting a stretch in your hamstrings. So as long as you feel a stretch, that's all that's important. It never matters how deep we get into a pose. Never. So, seated poses, I recommend sitting up on a blanket or a pillow, whatever you have available. And the reason is, it's the same idea as when you're folding forward. You don't want this upper back to round. So I'll show you without the blanket. What I'll see are these kind of the hips going a little bit forward as I try to reach for the toes, and that's just not good for the back. So if I sit up on my blanket, just right at the edge, and then when I fold forward, it's that same idea, hinging from the hips to fold forward. So I'm not trying to reach my head toward my knees, I'm trying to press my chest forward. A strap comes in handy. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt, just a belt that you wear around your clothes. So whatever you have, take it around your feet, sit up nice and tall, and then just come forward any amount. So again, as long as you feel a stretch, it doesn't matter how far you get. When I first started yoga, I couldn't reach my feet, so I had a strap, and I would sit in front of the television watching a show for like 10 minutes a night and do this. I would just hold, and then I would walk my hands forward a little bit, and it only took, I don't know, maybe a month or so before I was able to reach my feet. It took a long time more before I was able to come all the way forward, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter how deep you get in, as long as you feel a stretch, that's what's important. So Design Maria. I hope this helps your husband. And thank you for your comment. Thank you for asking for this tutorial. Thank you everyone for watching, and thanks for all of your comments. If there's a tutorial you'd like to see, please leave a comment below. And as always, subscribe, tell a friend. Thank you so much for your donations. I love you guys. Namaste. Have a great day.